Welcome back to the Your Golden Elevation channel. My name is Dr. Osa, and this video is titled 4 Reasons Why Your Level Up and Ascension Are Quiet. You might feel weird or different than the other people around you who are putting all their business on social media. You see new cars, you see new houses, you see promises of things that they haven't yet even attained. And you're wondering why you feel this deep desire inside to be quiet during your level up ascension process. And I'm here to tell you that it's a normal feeling, and here are 4 reasons why. The first reason is that your level up and ascension are divine. They are between you and your purpose. So when you see people going around telling every little thing that they're doing, you may want to ask yourself or wonder, are they really tuned into themselves? And, that kind of energy kind of goes against the very nature of a level up or ascension being internal, because it's divine, it's sacred, it's between you and your purpose, and between you and God, and between you and your higher calling in life. So to have it broadcasted every step of the way, every insight, every attainment on social media, that should give you pause. And it also should let you know that perhaps maybe people aren't doing what they seem to be doing if they need to broadcast every second of their ascension, because it's such a sacred process that's constantly unfolding. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But basically, it is meant to be quiet because it's divine. The second point is that it's underground. So just like seeds that are planted under the soil and we're waiting for them to germinate and then sprout the seedling and grow, your ascension is underground. There are so many different components that you need, like spiritual sunlight, for example, spiritual water, spiritual soil and fertilizer, and all of those different components that are just underground that are working on your behalf to allow you to come to a new space in your life. And so since it's underground, it's quiet. Do we hear a seed, sprouting underground? I guess if they have those like time lapse, I've seen those time lapse videos where there's like a flower that's blooming, and then they show how the process goes over time. But I don't know if you can really hear it. Although they say that plants now, I read in an article that plants actually do create sounds when they're in distress, whether, they lose a significant portion of their leaves or what have you. So maybe there is a sound when they germinate, but we as humans can't hear it with our natural ear, So just like these processes of birthing and growing are so silent and quiet, your ascension is underground. The next one is that it's constantly unfolding, and that's why it should be quiet. And your constant unfoldment really needs a safe place in order to be able to do so properly. Because if you're always talking about everything and you're always broadcasting it on social media or to your family or friends, how do you know in your soul that this is the right thing? You might get a sudden insight that will shift you in a different direction, and maybe that thing that you thought you were going to pursue or do was just a stepping stone to open your mind up or open your heart up to something new. And so that's not really what you're going to be doing at all. So you can look really flaky or wishy-washy if you're sharing every single moment of your unfoldment. It's unfolding slowly. It takes time. It takes nourishment. Just like any new thing that's being born, it takes time to really nourish and bring it along to a point where it's ready to be shared. So it should be quiet until you know exactly where you're going and you get a strong feeling from your intuition inside, like this, I'm ready to share this. Or you might be ready to share certain aspects of your journey with certain people because they're meant to be partners on your journey, or they're going to serve as an advocate or a resource, or they might just cheer you on, just like I'll cheer everyone on their journeys. But it's really important to recognize it as an unfoldment. So it's not just a one and done thing. When you get an insight, it's constantly unfolding. Things are building and growing every day. And so that's why it needs to be a quiet process, an internal process, until you really are sure that you should share. And the last one is that it's all within you. So your level up process is all within, even though it seems like you're going to this conference and you got this information. You went to this summit, or you went to have this conversation with a friend, or you read this book. All of the ascension processes and level up is within, because your soul has to grab hold to whatever information that you receive in these different situations and make sense for itself, based on that information. How does it apply to you? And so it's all internal. And so even if those things might catalyze, certain thoughts or insights, or certain, just kind of a ricochet, or just a domino effect of things that happen, is all coming from within. So we really need to make sure that we're clear about our own journey being within, and not being dependent on all of these things. Your soul or your intuition will guide you, to the resources and the people and the various things that you will need on your journey, but it all starts within. And so it's really crucial to recognize that, because otherwise we can feel like, oh, we need to broadcast things, or we need to say this or that, or do this or that, or make these announcements, when really your soul is like, shh, be quiet for a minute. Listen to me. Feel what I'm telling you. Sit with it for a moment. Feel the magnitude of it. And so that's what your soul is telling you today. I actually did a recent video on running back to your soul, which I'll link above. And I'll also link several of my meditations that I've done that will help you get that clarity and just clear that mental clutter and just feelings and thoughts that might be just distractions on your journey, so that you can ascend even more. And I'm not trying to give the impression that the level up journey is lonely, that you'll just be alone in a corner thinking about the next move in your life, for the rest of your life. Sometimes quietness is necessary, and oftentimes it is, when new insights and unfoldments are coming forth in your life. And there's been so many times where I've sat in a sense of silence, or just kept quiet for a while, and something amazing, absolutely amazing, came into my life as a result. And if I had went and told people, or just kind of felt like I had to get validation or to get their input on a process that's so sacred, I don't know if it would have ascended or have come into fruition in the highest way that God wanted to bring it into my life. It would have been mediated by people's opinions, or by people's fears, or people's misconceptions of even what I'm telling them. Because even if I tell them I want to do something, they might have a totally different idea of that field, or of that city, or what have you. And so all of my experiences in my ascension are being filtered through other people. And I don't think that, from my experience and from so many people's experiences and research and everything that I've done on this topic, that's not the way to go. So thank you so much for joining me for this conversation. I'd love to hear about your quiet moments of ascension, if you can share them. Things that happened in the past, not necessarily anything that you're currently going through right now, but anything that you like to share, anything you would like to say differently. If you disagree with me, tell me in the comments. If you have a different way of understanding your level up process, I would love to hear it. So thank you so much for joining me for this video. Definitely check out the videos that I'm linking here that relate to this topic. Stay golden, stay elevated, and I'll see you in the next video. And remember, your ascension and your level up are quiet.